You disagree with the sign?
We don't want to be participated.
No?
No.
Boo? Flip us off? We can't talk to you though?
Waste of sperm.
So you think we should try to change the sex of kids, eh?
So here's why I agree with this. I'm a mother of 4, and I think children, there's a lot of things they can't consent to that we all agree on. They can't consent to getting married. They can't consent to signing up for the military. They can't consent to getting a tattoo. You know, these are all, and we all kind of agree that these are things that children are not equipped emotionally or mentally to understand long-term consequences. So we don't allow them to do that. So to me, a puberty blocker is something that will create long-term changes and issues for the child that they might one day regret. And we protect our kids from making all kinds of decisions in other areas, but this one where a lot of people want to give them the green light and it doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, you think about it. We're responsible for our kids' health care, until they're 18, right? You're not considered an adult till you're 18. So why should they be allowed to have all these puberty blockers, gender changes? I don't know.
I have 4 kids, 18, 22, 24, and 27.
Oh, so they probably just missed out on all the indoctrination
They missed out on
now.
all this,
Oh, lucky.
Yeah, but
No, because it's probably something they would encounter if they were a little bit younger.
For sure. And honestly, I've told my husband if my kids were young now, I'd be homeschooling them because I just think the nonsense that's going on in public schools, I wouldn't be able to sleep well at night knowing that's what they're getting during the day, and that's a shame.
I think when I was like 16, 17, I just wanted to be David Bowie. So I think if I were that age now, I'd be put on all this.
Right. I agree. So I commend you guys for what you're doing. It's hard to come out publicly and stand up for something that might not be popular in the crowd you're in, and so I think you're doing a nice job.
Someday you guys will touch a girl. It'll happen, guys.
I'm gay. That's very homophobic of you.
Hey, man,
I'm gay. Why do I want a female to love me?
No need for the homophobia, sir.
I'm not saying that you are actively going forth and working to oppress people, although you are. I am
By saying
saying
we shouldn't sterilize and mutilate kids, I'm oppressing them.
you're not.
How is it not
sterilizing
sterilizing them?
I mean,
Well, just
people
prove them
have-
wrong. Why don't you just educate them?
If you
You know what I
think
mean?
that people are just there to like put forward and be baby making factories, then maybe in your head that's what it is, but people are so much more than that, and most trans adults wish that they could have changed puberty at when they were initially going into puberty.
Why?
Because then there's always going to be traits in adulthood that are going to be corresponded to a different gender.
Like what?
Things that the world looks at and says
So
maybe
aesthetics.
is more.
So I don't think that it's right to sterilize a child, cut apart children over aesthetics, over looks.
I
You
mean,
know that that's not right.
Why do you agree with this, would you say?
Well, I think it's ruining our country, and I'm for it. We need more people like yourself and more awareness because we got to get this country back to what our founders wanted.
We've gone so far from the ideals which formed this country. And we need to speak up because there's a new war going on. It's not a war being fought in the trenches, it's a war being fought in schools and on social media that's harming our kids. And it's every bit as important as any other war we fought because they're coming for our kids. and
I agree.
indoctrinating them.
We're from Florida, so we're passing laws.
Every most sensible person who comes along is always from Florida.
Well, we love Philadelphia too. This is a beautiful city.
It's a beautiful city.
and
And
we'll get back on track.
there's a lot of people that actually do agree with this sign in Philly. We've already spoken with a handful of them. Some people are on the fence, some people don't understand it, and some people are obviously wildly against it. When did you guys start to hear about this happening? Chris asked this question earlier. When did you start to hear about this happening just in general?
Well, we were made aware of it in Florida because our governor was really
On top of
against
it.
it and on top of it and passed laws, and we had a proactive governor.
Where are you located? Are you from around here or no?
I'm French. I'm
French.
French. In France, the ideology has been also rising over the last years. So no, it's starting in France as well. I was prime minister and minister of education is called Pape Ndiaye, and he studied it at the University of Virginia, where he became woke, completely brainwashed, and he's now our education minister. So that's pretty bad. I think it's something we should fight all the way along the world. I mean, especially in the Western world, yes.